Hello and welcome back to the show. So I thought I'll grab these basically. Paid 20 British pounds for this and 20 British pounds for that. They're TT Combat, Tabletop Scenics, Savage Domain, Abandoned Abbey and the Savage Domain Crumbling Tower. They've only been out for about a week or so. So I thought they looked really good value and would be ideal for my Vanguard stuff that I'm working on. So I've grabbed hold of these, I'm going to put them together and I thought I'd just show you guys kind of what they're like. They come from TT Combat, as I said, company down in Cornwall in the United Kingdom, down in the bottom southwest, famous for pole dart, Cornish pasties, pixies, all kind of myths and legends and everything else, so they're well placed to be building some fantasy terrain. I'll just crack the Savage Domain Abandoned Abbey open and show you what it's like, and then using the power of the internet I'll show you what it's like put together. So there's a little bit of guff there, and then there's a sort of paper based card. These are the roof tiles and some supporting beams by the look of it, and then there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8.5 looks like 3mm MDF boards, all laser cut with all the different bits and pieces on there. There's loads of sort of added details and stuff on there. I just had a quick squiz on their website. There's PDF instructions to download. So if you go on the product description, scroll down, you'll see a link to instructions. You click on that and it sticks a PDF on your phone or your tablet, whatever, so that you can stick these together. So I'm going to go and do that now. I'm going to put both these kits together. The Abandoned Abbey and the Crumbling Tower, and I'll see you in a second or two to show you how they've come out. See you in a sec. Right, welcome back. So I've got them all stuck together and I'll run through all the bits and pieces. I'm going to do each set separately and tell you about how I got on with each one, and then what I'll do at the end, I'll put them all out on the board and give you like a fly through so you can see how they fill up a gaming table. So this is the Abandoned Abbey set. Loads of different bits on there. They look really cool, don't they? All sort of laser cut, loads of nice detail and things on them. So what I'll say first of all is this took me about 4 hours to put together, and I'd consider myself a competent model maker. I've made loads of models in the past and stuff, so I'm not scared of that. I would say that, so based on that, I would say that this set is kind of an intermediate level. It wasn't the easiest thing in the world to put together. It's all gone together and I'm happy with it, but it wasn't the easiest. It took about 4 hours. The instructions, as I said, are a downloadable PDF. They're okay to a certain extent, but there were bits missing. So when I say there were bits missing, the instructions for the Abandoned Abbey included this big bit, this piece, and some of the little bits. But what was missing were all of these gatehouses and these square jobbies here. Not a massive thing. I figured it out. I cut the bits out and I played around with them a little bit, and I got them all to fit. But obviously, if this was your first kit and there's instructions missing, that sort of might be a bit scary because you'd be left at the end with a pile of bits with no idea where they're going. That's kind of cool, isn't it? I like that. So I love all the way this is all being cut on there. And that's the other point is on the instructions, it shows you the shape of the pieces, but it doesn't show you any of the texture that's on them. So when you're looking for them on the bits of card, on the bits of MDF, it's quite hard to spot them because they're just shapes rather than within. So you don't know if it's a bit of floor or a bit of wall or a bit of thing. So probably of the 4 hours it took me to make it, half the time was spent locating the right bits on the bits of MDF, and obviously where they're trying to maximise the amount of stuff they can get on to each piece, which is good for us because it keeps the costs down. It's quite hard to spot it because they're all kind of linked within each other. They made a really good job of getting the most out of each sheet of MDF, which is, like I say, is a positive for us, but it did mean that it was hard to find some of the bits. So I'll show you how these go together. Some of them have got little tabs on the side and little holes there, and they go in together like that. And so like, there's some more holes there, so you can connect everything together and make it make like walkways and bits and pieces. See, there's some more holes on there. You do that, and you see you've got your little bit of scenery there that you can sort of fight over and whatever. What I'm going to do is use some some barbecue skewers to maybe make some little ladders and some extra bits and pieces. There's lots of little odd walls and bits that you can hide behind and crosses and whatever. So that's kind of cool. So you can start to make up your own sort of little castle out of that. And then there's a load of these torches, if you can sort of see. And they basically, anywhere, like on the side of here, for example, there's a hole there. So you can stick a torch in there just to hide it. So that's that. So that's the Abandoned Abbey. I'll cut this, I'll show you the ruined tower, and then I'll put everything out on the board and you can see it set up as for a game. Okay, hold on tight. Okay, so this is the wrecked tower. Once again, this took me about 4 hours again, so similar issues to the first one. The instructions were more complete for this one. There was only one bit missing, which I'll show you later. But again, finding the bits on the I'm going to call them sprues for want of a better word. Finding them on the sprues, the sheets of MDF, was a bit of a pain because obviously all the textures and that were missing. But we got there. It's not a massive drama, like I say, just something to be aware of if it's the first time you've ever made this kind of models. So these are all the bits. Lots more gate houses. There's some extra little bits like a little wishing well. I say wishing well, but you know, some stocks for whatever, signposts. All these kind of bits. So this is like the piece de resistance, the wizard's tower itself. So let me have a look at this. Let me show you this bad boy. This is big. I mean, look at that. Let me get a hold on. I've got a tape measure here. All right, let me clear a bit of space, stick it in the middle, and I'll measure it for you because I'm sure, like, I was interested to see how tall it was. Right, we are looking at 40 centimetres. And that's 16 inches in old money. So this is the wizard's tower. So it's got these like card inserts that you have to, once you've made the frame, you bend them round and glue them in place. So I used some clothes pegs just to hold them in while the glue dried. I just used PVA for this. No special glue. I didn't use a glue gun. I didn't use super glue, anything like that. Just straightforward PVA. The only bit I had to hold in was with the clothes pegs. Was that the rest of it all fits together fairly nicely. The first set, the Abandoned Abbey, everything goes together really nice. On this one, a few of the tolerances in the joins were a little bit tight. There was a couple that I had to sand just to get them in. If you're not careful, I don't know if you can sort of see there, the MDF comes apart and thingy. But that's, I mean, I'm exaggerating. I really am nitpicking, to be fair. These are nice kits to go together, and that's minor problems, and you get that with any kind of model. So this is the wizard's tower. There's a fireplace in there, and these wall sections, and a ladder. So you can climb up the ladder. You can go up these broken steps, and another bit of ladder there. Pop yourself up to the top of the tower. So that's the wizard's tower, and then going on from the wizard's tower. Struggle for room for this. It'll look better in a minute when we do the fly through. Is another section of busted wall. These were missing from the instructions. So when I finished, I had this tower took you, well, right, let me state this again properly. So this piece was on the instructions, but these trims are extra additions and these steps are extra additions, and there's lots of other bits where these trims that aren't on the instructions. So you end up with a load of window frames and bits and bobs at the end, and you can go and stick them on later at a later date. You just go around and find the windows that they match. So yeah, and these steps were missing, so I had some odd bits. But what I did, I kept the picture for the for what they look like, and you can refer to that and refer to the bits on the internet, and then you can sort of see where they're supposed to go. But the idea is this goes on the end of there as well. So you got the, let me guess, right place. You got the wizard's tower there. You got the bit of wall there, and then there's another little bit like this as well. You put that down there. And then, oh yeah, you can, so there's another sort of sections. Basically, you can put these all out on your, trying to get them in a decent camera shot for you. I look like an idiot at the moment, sorry about that. Right, there you go. So you can set them all up on your tabletop, and your figures can hop up on the different bits and bobs and whatever, work their way up. So that's kind of that. Oh yeah, I think this is the right one for that. There's another sort of funky section there. So overall, I'm really pleased with these. Despite the few things I sort of pointed out, I think they're really good value. Would I buy them again? Absolutely. There's some other sets I want to get. There's some sci-fi ones I think would work well for Dead Zone and some other games. So I'm going to definitely get some more sets from these guys. Would I make them in a room with small children present? Probably not, because there was a bit of swearing when I couldn't find bits and whatever. But yeah, for the money, these I think are absolutely excellent. So I'm going to give these a thumbs up. I recommend them. So right, stick with me. I'm going to put them up on this table and I'll take the camera off and I'll show you what they look like for a game. See you in a sec. Okay, right, just a bit of fun, but I've set it up. I'll give you. So this is my table. It's 4 foot by 3 foot. So that gives you an idea. Most skirmish games are 3 foot by 3 foot. So that's the 2 sets on the table there with some other bits and pieces I've got. We'll just have a quick flyby. So we've got some woods here. I'll tell you why I did it like this. You know the old Lord of the Rings film, or in the books, you got the Battle of Osgiliath, haven't you, on the river of where they're going towards Gondor and stuff. So these ruins kind of reminded me of that. So we've got the goblins, goblin hordes. These are the vanguard starter set goblins, and ogre from Reaper minis, and they're all on this side of the river. They're advancing over the river where the brave warriors of wherever are going to defend. There's some guys up there. So just to give you an idea of the scale and how everything sort of looks. And there's some knights down there. There's some salamanders. They're vanguard guys. Well, these are Perry's War of Roses knights, I think, or Battle of Agincourt knights. There's a random forest shambler, because you've got to have a random forest shambler. He's in there. The old church on the side there, and the wizard's tower with our druid, wizard, whatever you want to call her, sorceress, up there. Woods and things. So I think that makes a pretty cool table, and I'm sure any of us would be happy to come and have a game with that. So there you go. That's the 2 sets: the Crumbling Tower and the Abandoned Abbey, set up on a 4x3 table. As you can see, you get loads there. So that's the end of the review, really. Hope you liked it, and there you go. Take care. See you again soon. Bye.